In this video, I'm going to demonstrate several methods that you can use to take screenshots. Screenshots are useful when there's something on your computer screen that you can't easily directly print out, or if you want to show someone something that you did on your screen, or maybe you have a technical problem with your computer, you're getting an error message or whatever, you can take a screenshot of it and send it to someone and they can maybe help you out with it. So lots of good uses for screenshots. We're going to look at 3 different ways: using the print screen key on your keyboard, using the on-screen keyboard that's built into Windows, and then using another program. There's lots of them. We're going to use MW Snap. So let's say that I have something on my screen that I want to take a picture of and show someone. This website is called netdisaster.com. You can put in any other website and then cause a disaster on it, basically. So let's say I want to paintball MSN here a little bit, and then I want to show someone what I did. I go ahead and do whatever I want, and then go ahead and press the print screen key on my keyboard. Now the print screen key is up at the top, usually to the right of the F12 key. It might say PRTSC, it might say print screen, or some variation of that. Just go ahead and press that key and nothing happens on the screen, but what happened is that a copy of what's on the screen has been placed on your Windows clipboard. You can use Paint to go ahead and open up Paint and paste in there, and there's a picture of what was on the screen. You can then save that and move it on. Another way that I can do it, besides using the print screen key on my keyboard, is to use something built into Windows called the on-screen keyboard. To get to that, I click Start and then go Run and type OSK. OSK stands for on-screen keyboard. Click OK, and here's my on-screen keyboard. Looks a lot like your keyboard that you have in front of your computer. Here is the print screen key right here, PSC. Now, knowing where the key is located, you might be able to find it on your keyboard. If you can't, you can use this one, no problem. This one will always work. Sometimes the key on your keyboard, especially if you have a laptop, it might have a shared function. You might have to press a combination of keys to get the print screen to work, but this one will always work. So go ahead and try this one out if the other one doesn't seem to work for you, if just pressing it on your keyboard. One thing that's important here is we want to make sure this isn't in the way of what I want to take the picture of. So I'm just going to drag it down a little bit and then go ahead and press the print screen key, the PSC key. Now a copy of what's on the screen has been placed on my Windows clipboard, so I'm just going to open up another copy of Paint and I can go ahead and paste it in here. Get rid of my on-screen keyboard, and I'll show you that this is the one I just did, because there it is in my screenshot. There's the on-screen keyboard and the PSC key is pressed. Now once it's in Paint, then I can go ahead and save it. To save it, I go File, Save As. Now an important piece here is to remember to save it as a JPEG. By default, Paint wants to save it as a bitmap. Bitmaps are much larger in file size than a JPEG, so let's save it as a JPEG rather than a bitmap. Much smaller. I'm just going to call it Screenshot and JPEG, just so we know what it is based on the file name. This file name does not affect the type of file it is. I have to choose here the Save As type. If I typed BMP, that doesn't make it a bitmap in the same way as if I type JPG, that doesn't make it a JPEG. I have to choose that file type from the Save As type right here. Then I click Save. That one's saved. I'm going to save the other one as a bitmap, just so that you can see the file size difference. It's very significant. Oops. I'm going to go here and I'll call this one Screenshot BMP. Remember, that doesn't affect what type of file it is. I'm just calling it that. You can call it whatever you want. Click Save. Then let's take a look at those files. I'm just going to go to my desktop, and here are the 2 files. The bitmap significantly larger, 1,407 kilobytes, and the JPEG is just 129 kilobytes. Now, the file size is important. If we want to email this, or if we want to share it on the internet where people might have to download it or whatever, we want it to be as small a file size as possible. And in this case, the bitmap version is over 10 times the size of the JPEG. So JPEG is much better choice if you're going to email and do whatever with that picture. So keep that in mind. Save it as a JPEG. Now, another way that we can do this is to use a program, a third-party program, something that's not built into Windows. There's lots of different options out there. One that I like that's free is called MW Snap. You can download it. To download it, just go to Google MW Snap. You'll find a download link right away in the top there. And after you install it, you'll get this little camera icon with the program. We open up the program, looks like this, and there's lots of different options here, but in order to make sure we get the whole screen exactly what we want, we can just click on full desktop. You can play around with these others if you'd like, but full desktop will do exactly the same thing as just that print screen key on your keyboard. After I've done that, then I'm going to bring up what I want to take the picture of. So here's my MSN again. I'm going to throw a couple more shots over here just for the fun of it. Okay, and this is what I want to take the picture of. So now that I have that, bring back my MW Snap window, and I go ahead and click Snap Full Desktop, and there it is. Okay, it goes away for a little bit, takes a picture of what's behind it, and then here it is. Then I just go ahead and save it. Go File, Save As, and I want to make sure I save it again as a JPEG. So I'm going to call this one Screenshot MW Snap and JPEG. So, and we're going to stick it in the desktop. So right there, and we save it. Now we've got it. Can get rid of that. But one thing to remember with the MW Snap program, it's going to take a picture of whatever is directly behind that MW Snap window. So if I pull it up here, it's going to take a picture of what's behind that window because it goes away. So if I want to take a picture of something, make sure that's the first thing directly behind the MW Snap window. I'll get that out of there. We'll just quickly look at those file sizes to compare, and we notice, let me sort them this way, that the MW Snap one, very similar to the one we used Paint, just 1 kilobyte difference. So those two, very small. They'll email and upload and download very quickly if you're gonna do stuff on the internet with them. The bitmap one, again, is over 10 times as large. So 3 different options we looked at for taking screenshots. Using the print screen key on your keyboard, it might be abbreviated something like that, PRTSC, some other variation of that. You can just press it, it goes to your clipboard, paste it in somewhere. You can use the on-screen keyboard, type OSK at the run prompt from your start menu, or use another third-party program such as MW Snap, which is a good free one. Just Google MW Snap and you can download it and use that program as well. You don't necessarily have to use Paint to paste your pictures in. You could use Word, WordPad. All of those will allow you to paste it in there, and you can save it as a document and upload that as well. I wouldn't recommend WordPad though, because you'll have to save it as a rich text format, which will give you a really big file. So try and avoid that. That will be your last resort. If you don't have Paint for some reason and all you have is WordPad, you could use that. Hopefully that helps to show you how to take screenshots. One of those ways for sure, I guarantee you will work on your computer if it's a Windows machine.